Hi, this is Daniel Schmon. I'm going to go through a quick overview of Moodle, which I've been evaluating for the last couple of days for the purposes of using for our induction process. So first of all, Moodle is a learning management system, which means that it revolves around education and has terminology like teachers and students and course creators. So a student completes a course, a teacher prepares the course, and then obviously grades the results or the submissions that the students provide. So I wanted to go through a few different scenarios, very simple scenarios, to give an overview of how it can be used. The student perspective, they can view a topic and then complete an assignment, and then we'll switch over to teacher, who will grade the assignment submitted by that student, and then finally I'll show how quickly and easy it is to actually add a new activity to a course or to a particular topic. So starting with the student, if I flick over to Chrome here, top right hand corner I've got test user 6, which is who I'm logged in as, and I have my SSW Induction course available. So I'll click on that, and nothing. I'm not enrolled in this course yet, so because I've turned on self-enrollment, I can enroll myself straight away. So I'll click on Enroll Me. There we go. All of the course material now is visible if I scroll down a little bit, but I don't see any activities, for example here, to complete. That's because I've configured it so that you have to go through each individual topic to complete it. Now I've clicked on 5 Live Rule. This topic obviously has some text here, so I would read the text as a student, understand what the topic is on about, and then complete the assignments or activities at the bottom. In this case, Get Live 5. I'll click on that, and here are some further instructions as to how to complete this assignment. I can add a submission when I'm done with the assignment, or when I want to actually complete it. Assignment goes here, and then I can obviously save changes and submit. Here are the details of my draft submission, the text itself, and comments which I can provide, which will be visible then by my teacher. I can edit the submission until I submit it, so I won't bother with that. I'll just submit it for the time being. Now I have this message here that I have to declare that it's my own work. This can be configured to be turned off. I don't know if the text itself can be changed. I assume it probably can in the configuration file somewhere. Alternatively, it is open source, so it's possible to change one way or another. Now I'm back to the page where the assignment is described, and as you can see, there's nothing below here to edit that anymore. Once it's submitted, that's it. It's out of the student's hands and onto the teacher. So we'll grade that submission as a teacher now. And to do that, I'll flick over to Internet Explorer, where I'm logged in as the admin user. And scrolling down quickly, you can see, where are we? Switch role 2, you can see that this particular admin user's got access to all of the roles, including course creator and teacher. Now, what I've done beforehand is just navigated to this 5 Live Rule, and to grade this particular submission, I'll go into the submission activity itself. I can see a similar view as to what the student sees, with a few differences. I can see all the participants, any draft submissions that are waiting, submitted items, and any that need grading. So there are 3 here. I will view or grade all submissions, and I get this table here which shows me all the submissions. So we were logged in as test user 6 before, and it's a little bit, this is one of the things that I think is a bit unintuitive. I've got this grade column here and an icon here which is to grade this particular item. When I saw that alongside with the tick boxes and the items below here, I assumed there might have been an easy way to navigate through or grade all at once. Not at once, but sequentially perhaps, where it might automatically click me through each one. But this below here in fact is talking about locking submissions and unlocking them so that you can reset their status. So for actual grading, you need to click on the item itself, so I'll do that here now. and I can see the content that the user submitted, and I'll just provide some feedback. So give it 100 and say that's really good. I also have some formatting options, but funnily enough, no little editing toolbars here for HTML mode, at least. I'm not sure what the others are. Obviously, plain text is pretty straightforward, but Moodle, some sort of special formatting and Markdown, which is probably a bit more widely known than Moodle, at least. So now that as the teacher, I've graded this item, the changes have been saved, so I'll click back on continue. We can see the next item, so I'd have to scroll down here and click on the next one if I wanted to continue grading. Not a horrible experience, but you do need to get familiar with the user interface first. Before I actually move on, I'll flick back to the test user 6. I haven't navigated away yet, so what I'll do is just refresh this page, and here I can see the feedback that was provided by the teacher. 100, 100, really good. Now we'll move on to the editing, and I'll just demonstrate how easy it is to add a new activity. As I mentioned, in one day I got these 10 put in, as well as actually setting up the server itself. So I'll flick back to the 5 live rule itself, and we'll just add a new activity there. As you can see, it looks the same as a student's perspective, with the difference that I have this edit button in the top right corner. So I'll click on turn editing on, and then I can edit the content in place. Now I have the ability, obviously, to change the over here to change the summary, so I can edit the course material. I can edit this item with these icons down here, or I can add a new activity. So I'll click on that, and as you can see, I've got lots of different options for activity types. The assignment is the one that we just saw. There's some sort of interactive chat, a choice, database. I don't know what half of these do. External tools, so there's also integration and interoperability with other tools. And even SCORM packages being a learning management system. And I can also link off to other external resources. So in this case, I'll just do a quick choice. You'll notice choice and quiz, I was a little bit confused initially as to what the difference was. Choice is literally a drop-down, or not drop-down, sorry, a multiple choice questionnaire like you'd see in a lot of online courses. Whereas a quiz is more comprehensive, allows you to have a predefined set of a whole bunch of questions and have them randomly selected for the user or the student when they complete the course. And you can also have much more complex forms, which are more than just radio buttons, but there is a special syntax which you'd need to learn to do that. I won't go into that in this demo. So I'll add a choice activity, and then I just have to give it a name and a description. Test choices, something goes here, and as you would expect, I now have the ability to put in some different options. Okay. There are lots of other features in Moodle around availability of options, particularly submissions of assignments. You can have dates around them, so that they must be completed before a certain date. And you can set various options as to whether students see their results immediately or later or not at all. So it's quite configurable, this tool. Now I'll click on Save and Return to Course, because as this particular admin, I should say, I'm not enrolled into the course, so I wouldn't actually see it. Or be able to complete the item immediately, but in edit mode I can see the item's been added there. And if I flick back to the user and then click on so I'm in Chrome now, scroll to the top, I logged in as test user 6, I click on 5 live rule again, and I can see that new choice there that's been added. I'll click on that, and multiple choices. So it's very simple to add new activities, which is one thing that I really liked about it. So that's pretty much it for the overview. Pros and cons. It's obviously very easy to set up. Like I said, in a day, I set up the server and added a few, these 10 items, topics, and a whole lot of assignments and activities. Activities are easy to add, and once you understand the user interface, how it works, they're very easy to grade as well and provide feedback. So you've got that closed loop going from student to, or rather, even before that, from teacher putting the course material in there to student who consumes that, who then provides some sort of feedback, acknowledging that they've understood the content, and then the teacher can validate that through the grading process. It's closed loop, pretty simple to set up and use, although the UI does take a little bit of getting used to. It's not terribly intuitive, which is a little bit of a con, but I wouldn't call it a huge one. And I couldn't find an easy way to reset the assignment data for a student. As you can see, I've got 6 test users here, and that's because I've just been creating new ones as I've been trying out different things. You can reset a course, but I think that's more geared towards, at the end of a year, a course might be reset then for the next lot of students coming in, and during that resetting process, things like feedback and comments get deleted so that the previous year's students' comments are not visible to the next year's students. But during that process, all of the completion data still remains, which in an education scenario I can completely understand and actually makes sense. But for what we're looking to do, it wasn't quite as appropriate, because we were looking for the ability to invalidate somebody's completion status on or easily invalidate completion status on an item, so that as the material gets updated, we can then force users to have to go back in and recomplete particular topics as they progress and as they get updated over time. So everything together, we'll probably won't be using this for our induction as a tool for our induction process. Instead, we've been looking at an MVC solution or building an MVC solution from scratch, but probably hear more about that in the future. At this stage, Moodle looks like a pretty good learning management system tool, but may not be appropriate at this stage for us for our induction process. Not to say it couldn't be used, but may not be the ideal thing. I hope this is useful for someone else out there looking at Moodle for either induction or another purpose.